the success of the Lotus Elise, Lotus developed a coupe version and introduced the Exige model. A fixed cover went over the rigid chassis. A new air duct was designed for the engine. Aerodynamics were improved with changes to the body styling. And there was a focus on more power, more grip and more downforce with rear wings. Creature comforts, air conditioning was fitted standard, unlike the Elise. All Lotus road-going Lotus models shared a strong pedigree with racing versions. This was even stronger in the Exige Series. Exige Series 1, a naturally aspirated 1.8 litre Rover K-Series inline-four engine tuned for performance and 177 horsepower. A 5-speed manual gearbox and a claimed top speed of 219 km per hour. 0 to 100 was achieved in 4.9 seconds. While a high horsepower K-Series Rover engine was originally fitted to the Series 1, it is getting very hard to find any Series 1 Exiges in existence with these motors left. Over the last decade or two, most Series 1 have ended up with a Honda motor, which allows much greater power and reliability, especially for cars that live on the track. Lotus Exige Series 2. The S2 was introduced in 2004 with a naturally aspirated 1.8 litre Toyota Yamaha engine rated at 190 horsepower. A little later, Lotus offered a supercharged version of the same motor. During this time, Lotus developed a few special models of the S2. First, a Cup 240. As the name suggests, it uses a supercharged 1.8 litre engine which puts out 240 horsepower. This was later bumped up to 260 horsepower for the Cup 260. This particular car is one of less than 10 Lotus 260 Cup models which made their way to Australia. Thanks to a larger supercharger, intercooler, injectors, extractors, a baffled sump and an EMU black ECU, it now makes around 330 horsepower. In addition to the engine mods, it runs an LSD, a strengthened gearbox and plenty of suspension and brake upgrades. Its owner reports it is crazy fast on the track. Lotus Exige Series 3. Lotus upped the ante with a supercharged 3.5 litre V6 for Series 3 in roadster and coupe versions. The S3 was effectively the front of an Elise with the rear of an Evora, which it required to hold the massive, by Lotus standards, V6 engine. At 25 cm longer and 5 cm wider, it feels like a much larger car to drive, but for the first time, Lotus had a car which was a more direct competitor than ever before to Porsches and entry-level supercars. What started at 345 horsepower as the Lotus Exige S turned into the Lotus Exige 350 in 2015, when the car was given a slight bump in power. After various iterations in Sport and Cup chassis, Lotus unveiled the Exige Sport 410 in 2018. It aimed to bridge the gap between the track-focused Exige Cup 430 and road-biased Exige Sport 350. The 410 has a larger 1750 supercharger versus the 1320 supercharger, which was standard on the 350. It also benefits from a charge cooler, which the first S3 Exiges didn't have. The 410 has a redesigned front end, enlarged air takes and new air curtains. The front splitter, rear wing and aluminium diffuser generate 150 kilograms of downforce. Carbon-fibre was used for many parts to create the lightest V6 Exige to date. It rips. This 2019 model also has a smaller pulley, aftermarket extractors and exhaust, and a Motec ECU. With minimal mods, it is said to make around 460 horsepower, which is harnessed by an LSD. If you dream of a street-legal car that is also a weapon on the racetrack, it's hard to go past any of the Lotus Exige models.